Finally, this became the last straw that ended Erik Ten Hag's reign. And the person who contributed to his downfall was none other than Diogo Dalot. He controlled the ball well to escape, surpassing the last obstacle, which was goalkeeper Fabianski. The open goal was there, and any Manchester United fan would have thought of a goal. But Dalot did the unthinkable by shooting over the bar, leaving all the Red Devils supporters at West Ham Stadium in dismay. This situation put Manchester United in a difficult position, leading to their defeat in injury time. Coincidentally, less than 24 hours after the loss in London, Manchester United officially announced Ten Hag's dismissal. This has led many to question whether Dalot was the cause, but that no longer matters. In this video, let's take a look at what the Dutch strategist left behind after departing the theater of dreams. Not long after the news that Manchester United was discussing whether to dismiss Ten Hag or not from Fabrizio Ronaldo, just a few hours later, the Old Trafford team officially posted this on their social media pages, with the content as follows. Erik Ten Hag has officially left the position of head coach of the team. We thank him for what he has achieved and wish all the best for Ten Hag in the future. When this information was posted, many news sites shared it, creating a strong effect on social media. And many debates arose about whether this was the right decision by the Manchester United leadership when it was only the early stages of the season. First of all, the 54-year-old strategist is not without success with Man United. He won an FA Cup along with a Carabao Cup title in more than 2.5 years in the hot seat of the Red Devils. However, that cannot bury the fact that the former Ajax captain did not do well compared to what he had proclaimed. Surely, you still remember this classic saying of Ten Hag when he first took office at the Theatre of Dreams. They, meaning Man City and Liverpool, both play wonderful football. But every era will come to an end, and I am looking forward to the battle with them, implying that he would end the dominance of these two teams. But everything has only happened halfway, as Pep Guardiola is still in charge at Man City and is helping this team continue to compete for titles in the 2024-2025 season. As for Ten Hag, that unfinished dream had to close after the Manchester United leadership decided to dismiss this strategist. Many Red Devils fans believe this decision came too late, as the Manchester United owners could have done it earlier in the summer, instead of having to extend and then compensate a significant amount when letting Ten Hag go in the middle of the season. But for many others, they feel this is not an issue, as the team has somewhat resolved the chaos on the coaching bench and is ready to await new things from owner Jim Ratcliffe. Surely, the Manchester United leadership had reasons to dismiss Ten Hag later than initially planned, as they wanted to see if the Dutch coach could change compared to the 2023-2024 season before. However, nothing new happened, even regressing compared to the previous time, and the defeat to West Ham, with the highlight being Dalot's miss, was the last straw between Ten Hag and the Manchester United leaders. They no longer had enough trust in the 54-year-old strategist and accepted to compensate a sum to let him go, instead trusting legend Ruud van Nistelrooy at the moment, before thinking about the prospect of a new coach in the future. Ten Hag leaves, but what he left behind will not be easy for Manchester United to resolve. They spent hundreds of millions of pounds in the transfer market for the Dutch strategist, to bring in signings from Ajax to realize the transformation of Manchester United. But things did not go as fortunately, even failing miserably. Or some players will no longer have a long-term use like Casemiro, or in the case of Mason Mount, who continuously has to befriend the hospital bed instead of the pitch. The upper echelons of the Red Devils will not to sell these stars, as it would reduce the squad depth of the team, but keeping them is also uncertain to regain their former form. And the new coach will face difficulties in how to use them, as no one is sure that the new Manchester United captain will fit with the style of Anthony or Mason Mount. Depreciation is something that will happen, and it significantly affects the financial situation that is somewhat troubled from the Old Trafford team, as well as their plans to reform the squad in the future. Firing Ten Hag at this time may seem late to many, but better late than never, as Manchester United is continuously plummeting without breaks. From the expectation of a controlling, imposing style of play, the Red Devils have had to revert to a transitional style. In any situation, against any team, whether big or small, the Dutch strategist deliberately chooses such a style of play. However, Manchester United cannot maintain this with the high frequency of injuries continuously occurring. According to some sources, Ten Hag's intense training regimen has caused the players to be unable to withstand it, resulting in them frequently ending up on the injury list. Yet the Dutch strategist does not take responsibility for this himself, instead attributing it to the players' medical history and claiming that failures are due to biased refereeing, rather than weaknesses in his tactics. On his personal page, journalist Piers Morgan, who once interviewed Ronaldo about the story at Manchester United, posted a status that made many Red Devils fans nod in agreement with its accuracy. Every word he said to me about Ten Hag in that interview has come true. As you know, he is a coach who is overrated, delusional about what he has achieved, without comparing it to reality. A cowardly person who uses tricks to eliminate those he doesn't like from this team. Ten Hag is not good enough to lead top players and a prestigious club like Manchester United. According to journalist Piers Morgan's perspective, Ten Hag is not much different from what Ronaldo described in this interview. The Dutch strategist is not good at handling matches and constantly blames referees for the team's failures. That is not what a good coach should do. Instead, he should think more about how to help the players improve, how to help the team progress strongly after previous setbacks. Moreover, the Dutch strategist's personnel management skills also raise questions for many people. From Cristiano Ronaldo and Jadon Sancho leaving to past disagreements with Marcus Rashford or Harry Maguire, these players may have made mistakes, but Ten Hag's handling did not satisfy either side and even caused disunity in the dressing room. A good coach is not someone who creates conflicts in the dressing room, but rather someone who harmonizes big egos and resolves internal issues to create a united team aiming to conquer great goals in the future. But for Ten Hag, this seems extravagant in the Dutch strategist's coaching style. Firing the 54-year-old coach is also when Manchester United needs to carefully research for their head coach position. They once again have to revolutionize this position after many previous failures. Many painful lessons have been learned. But whether they can correct the mistakes now is something only the club's leaders know. What do you think about Ten Hag's reign at Manchester United after more than 2.5 years? Please leave your comments below. And now, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.